Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another presentation by the Milton High School MSA. In this video, we'll be covering missed Category 2 competitions, which are all related to art. So if you're interested in art, get ready to see some cool stuff. 2D and 3D art are two different competitions that are offered at MIST, and typically they do have the same rules. There are some exceptions for 3D art, which we'll get to later. So, a maximum of 2 students per team can join this competition. Now, if you are part of a coalition team, say in Miss Atlanta, there is a team called Uplift, and under Uplift there are 5 different schools. So, this doesn't mean that only 2 kids in all of the Uplift team can join, rather it's 2 kids per school. So you will see those words used interchangeably, but just know, if your MSA has a Miss team, then within your specified Miss team, 2 students can join, and no more. The Miss registration portal will automatically alert you if you are the third person signing up, and it will not allow you to do so. Each competitor must submit a separate work. You're going to see this is true of everything, because even if you have 2 students competing, they give 2 individual pieces. It's not that they're making one piece together. All of your artwork has to relate to the theme, and this is a key point. It must avoid lifelike representations of humans or animals. So what that means is you can't draw a hand like, holding an ice cream cone or something in your picture, and nor can you draw a cat or anything. They want to see more symbolic pictures. At least that's what I've seen throughout the years, is they like symbolic pictures where you have, say, glass and some marbles, and each of those represents something else that somehow ties in with the theme. So, in 2016, for example, the theme was the race against time, so a lot of people would draw an hourglass. Please note, if you draw anything that is lifelike, you will automatically be disqualified from the competition, and nobody wants that to happen. Now, all of your artwork has to be mounted on a 1-inch to 2-inch border. Poster boards work really good for that, so I'd recommend that if you're looking into it. And this is a rule that's specific to 2D art, because you can't really mount 3D art, and make it flat against the border. That makes no sense. Now, you get this serial number called a Miss ID. And what your Miss ID is since the judges typically know each other and know some of the competitors, what you're going to have is you're going to have a serial number type. It'll have the first 5 digits will be your school, the last 5 digits will be a number that is specific to you. And that's what you're going to write on all of your submissions. What I'd recommend is, for easy sight, have that white poster board border and write with a black Sharpie underneath just your Miss ID number and 2D art. You are not allowed to write anything else that may give you away. You cannot write your school name, your first name, your last name, your middle name, okay? If you write that, you will get disqualified, because it does breach the MIST Honor Code. If you want to read the MIST Honor Code, you can look at the rule book for that. Now, a 500-word written description accompanies your artwork. And basically, this is that what they do is they want to get the top 15 kids. So if there are 30 submissions, they're going to read these written statements that you have, and within there, you're going to try and talk to the judges through that to explain anything that's not apparently clear. For example, if you have like glass and marble symbolizing truth and justice, you want to write that on there. And please make sure to pay attention on this, because what I've seen is that this little 500-word written statement can make the difference between you getting into the top 15 or just getting disqualified out because you were eliminated from the competition. And there are some interview questions that are in the rulebook under 2D art. They sometimes change, so you want to take a look at that and make sure that you answer each and every single one of those questions within your 500 words. Now, how I said, a total of 15 competitors will be chosen as finalists, and they will be able to go to round 2. And what round 2 is, you get interviewed in front of the judges, so you actually do get to talk to the judges, as you can see the girl doing in the photo. And these interviews will be used to determine the top 4 people. And these 4 people are the ones that will advance from your regional to your national competition. Now, you have to arrive at the interview site on time, and you have to look nice, talk confidently, everything that, you would expect them to grade you on in an interview. please make sure you are wearing ironed clothing. I have a friend that went into an interview, her clothing was not ironed, and so she failed her interview. So, and you want to make sure to give off the best impression to your judges. And at least the third bullet point, that's something I've seen at Miss Atlanta. I'm not sure about the other regions, but what it does do is that they will create a big banner, and they'll have that at our lunch site. And what you can do is you can see there they'll have the missed IDs of everybody posted, and then they'll also put that same list on the website. So you want to check both sources and make sure that you see your missed ID. And please be sure to do so, because I know a friend, her missed ID was not on the lunch site poster, but it was on the website. She didn't see that, so she didn't go to the interview, but she would have made the top 3 if she had gone. So, please make sure. And if there are only 14 missed IDs listed on the website, please also call them. Make sure they know that that's going on, because they are always 15 competitors, especially for the larger regions. And Atlanta is a pretty large region. We pretty much always have at least 60 people submit, and then the top 15 are chosen for interviews. But remember, within the finalists, the biggest piece of advice I can give you is to have confidence, because confidence is key. Now, there are some rules that are specific for 3D art, and those are here. Your board has to be placed, your work has to be placed on a board that is sturdy enough for it to be carried around. What I'd say that if you have a pretty light 3D art piece, then what you can do is, if you find the poster boards that are sort of more like trifold boards in terms of their texture and how heavy they are, those tend to work well. Or you may have to get some tough like plastic sheet or something that you put under there, but please, they don't want cardboard. Please do not put your work on cardboard. That can get you disqualified. It's recommended for kids in 3D art to make 2 copies of the written statement and attach one to, say, like the back of your actual artwork, or like tape it onto your little board that you have, and one, put it in a manila folder, and on the tab of the manila folder, please just write your missed ID and the competition name. That's the only thing they should see. If they see your school name or your name or anything, you will get disqualified. So please make sure you do that. And you need to have that with you the first day of the tournament. When you come in the tournament, typically how it runs is at 8 o'clock they open up registration, and they'll have this big table where you put your manila folders. So all of the competitions that have you make copies and turn in the submissions, you're going to find it. Within arriving at MIST, within 15 minutes, you're going to have to turn in that folder, because they don't accept it after that time frame, which they'll typically close registration at 9 a.m. So please make sure you have it on the first day, and they don't let you copy there, because I know some friends, they forgot to print theirs and they were running around trying to find a photocopier, but the university doesn't allow us to use those. Alright, so there is another one of the competitions that is offered within the MIST Category 2 is fashion design, and I personally think this one is pretty cool. Now, only 2 competitors per team or school allowed to compete. Be sure to check in with your team, your MSA officers. They should know if you are part of a coalition team or not, because you want to make sure that that's it. Typically, if you have a team that's bigger than 30 kids, you most likely have a coalition team, but always check in with them. And what you have to do in fashion design is basically, design some cool outfits that are, Muslim friendly, and you have to make a portfolio that should only be labeled with the MIST ID. They're very strict on this. If you write fashion design underneath the MIST ID, they're not going to count it. So, please be sure to follow everything that it says in the rule book. Now, you should have inside your portfolio a cover case. So, I don't know, I know there are a couple like leather ones you can find that are pretty good for that. And then you should have a page that's labeled philosophy. And that's basically a written, paragraph or 2 that explains how you want to use the theme of that year to create a collection. And then you're going to have an inspiration page, and you're going to put a couple pictures. I know you can put you have to put at least 1. And you can put as many as you want on there, but what I'd recommend is put up to 3. No more than 3 pictures. And if the pictures aren't clear, then you can add little captions of how these inspired you. And then what you're going to have is after your inspirations page, you're going to have a page that has just fabric swatches and a color palette for your collection. Now, they really do like to see the fabric swatches and, color palettes, so make sure they're popping or whatever. I mean, it depends on the collection you create, but still, try to have something that'll appease the judges. They like to feel the fabric, and, that's something that they like to do, so. And then you need to design 6 complete outfits. You can either do 3 male outfits and 3 female outfits, or you can create just 6 outfits for guys, or you can just make 6 outfits for girls. Now, all of these outfits have to be drawn for teenagers or adults. So what you'll note is that in the rule book it says you can draw it on a figure of a person. This is unlike 2D art, but that must be an adult figure, You cannot design clothing for children, and all outfits have to be modest within Islamic fashions, So basically no bare skin, no short sleeves, Just basic. I mean, they're not going to be really strict on it, like, oh, it has to be like abaya or something, but please make sure that it does follow basic guidelines of modesty, and it has to be creative. Don't put anything in your collection that'll make them think that you got that you copied somebody else's work. And now the only thing you're actually required to make are the shirt, the pants, if it's a dress, that. But if you design shoes, jewelry, pins, or scarves or a hijab to go alongside it, then that does earn you extra points, and that can help you get up to the top 15. Now, for each outfit that you include in your portfolio, you have to have one illustration of the outfit as worn by a person in color, and it has to be mounted on a piece of heavy paper, or again, poster boards are your best friend in the arts category. So, poster boards, and it has to be in a page protector sheet that is exactly the dimensions given. If your outfit size is smaller than 5 inches by 7 inches, they won't look at it. They're really strict about that. And the maximum it can be is 8.5 inches by 11 inches, which is a normal paper. Your typical copy paper. And you're going to place it in a page protector sheet, and you're going to have 6 of those because you have 6 different outfits. Now what they want is per outfit, they want 2 flat detail sketches of each outfit. So typically what they want is they want one sketch, how does the outfit look on the front, and how does the outfit look from the back. So those have to be done in black and white, and here it's not required that you actually draw a person wearing it. You can just draw each piece of clothing separately, but that has to also be on one page. So you're going to have 6 pages with 12 different sketches total. Now, anything that stands out or makes your collection unique, you have to describe it with little sewing notes or caption notes. And I have a sample portfolio to show you after this that will show you everything that you need to have there. But you also need to have a common feature in each set. So either you have a similar color scheme in all 6 of your outfits, or all of them have similar buttons, or I don't know, like the sleeves, the way it's folded up or something. And then finalists will be chosen, 15 of them. Just like I said before with 2D art, there's going to be a banner, it's going to be on the website. Please make sure to call them and double check if you did compete in there. And it'll be announced at the competition. These people also meet at a specified place and specified time for a final interview. And interview questions can be found in the fashion design section of the rulebook. Also remember, appearances, confidence, punctuality, those are your 3 main factors that can either get you to nationals or make you, fail. Now, here's examples of a fashion design portfolio. You can see the portfolio case in your upper left-hand corner. You have a front and a back image of a large envelope. This person went really retro, old school with theirs. You have your philosophy page, you can see the theory page. You see the inspiration image. See, that person only chose one image, for example, but you can have more. They don't even have a caption. And then you have fabric swatches in the color palette. And then you can see the 6 complete looks. This person wanted to save some paper, so they drew 2 on each. And then you have some hand-drawn flats, but you see each item of your outfits is taken out and it's drawn front and back for everything. Now, another competition is graphic design, and this one is pretty cool for people that are pretty good at a computer and they're also really creative. Now, no more than 2 students per each team can compete, similar as always. Artwork cannot be animated, and it all has to be able to be created on a computer. Artwork has to be submitted as a GIF, TIFF, I've never heard of that, or a JPG or JPG format. And a 500-word description has to describe the inspiration and the meaning of the artwork. They may have some additional interview questions, so be sure to check out the rulebook for that. Now, graphic design is different because it is an early submission competition. Now, it has to be submitted within one of the 3 formats that were above. You have to submit that to your Miss Regional website, for us that's Miss Atlanta, no later than 2 weeks before the competition. They will close that website, and if you do not turn it in before, then that can hurt you. And the final 15 will be chosen for an interview according to the art interview ballot, which is also in the rule book. Same thing, confidence, punctuality, and appearance. Okay, so the last competition that you have within the Category 2 competitions is photography. A maximum of 2 competitors per school or team can participate. All work must be labeled with the MIST ID of the student. This is the same for any competition at MIST at all. They're never going to ask you what your name is. They just want that serial number. You'll have an ID badge that has that on there. When you sign in at registration, be sure to show them that. If you don't know it, What I'd recommend is sometimes it can take a bit of a while for them to process MIST ID's numbers. So keep a Sharpie with you in your bag when you go to MIST, Once you find it out, please make sure to ask. And typically, I know I'm also a registrar for a team, so by 2 weeks before the tournament, you should have your MIST IDs. If you do not have them, then that means that your team registrar has not finalized your team submissions yet, or somebody hasn't paid their money. So please make sure to contact your MSA if it's about time for you to turn in your stuff and you have no idea what your MIST ID is. A minimum of 3 and a maximum of 5 photos can be included within a portfolio that have to have a common theme throughout. So say, for example, I'm going to use Miss 2016 as an example, the race against time. I know somebody did death, and it's a very dark subject, but they had 4 pictures about, death. And one of them was really symbolic, one of them was actually somebody dying, and you have different types of images, so you can explore different themes within there. Now, photos have to be in a portfolio that are bound together by binder sheets, a vinyl portfolio. I know you can find some really good ones at Michael's or Walmart that are pretty sturdy. They're black, almost like the ones that kids in chorus use. Or you can use something else, but be sure you cannot use staples, cardboard, or paper clips. If they see any of those 3 things, you will automatically be disqualified. Pictures have to be printed on high-quality photographic paper. Pretty easy. You can get that at Walgreens or Walmart. All photos have to be a minimum of 8 × 10 in size. Okay? They didn't specify in the rulebook if that was inches or whatever, so if you're a photography person, be sure to get that cleared up by emailing, your Miss Regional director. They can help you get that out. And you have to include a written statement of 500 words that has to address all of the questions that are found in the rulebook. Your rulebook is like your golden resource for Miss. Just rulebook. Any doubt, rulebook. If the rulebook doesn't answer you, go to your MSA. The top 15 students advance to the final round, just like all other art tournaments with the interview. Remember, confidence, punctuality, and appearance will help you. And photography is actually pretty cool. They have a tips from the judges page in the rulebook, which no other competition has. But if you go to that page, you'll see some tips for making your photographs to be the best of the best and be the ones that actually pop out to the judges. Thank you for watching our presentation today, and we hope you'll be back to watch our other ones.